Hello everybody and welcome. We are for the first time now broadcasting on a Thursday. Why? Because it's happy hour. Why? Because it's been happy hour in Bellingham on Thursdays for a very long time. Even before I had the gig in the summer of 2000 at Boundary Bay Brewery, there was something going on in Bellingham on Thursdays. You see, at the college, the business department didn't have classes on Fridays, which meant Thursdays downtown was the night to be downtown. Well, I'm back in the history books there because they have classes on Fridays, so the Thursdays have died for the young ones. But you know what? I'm not young anymore. Here we are. This would have been my 20th summer playing happy hour at Boundary Bay Brewery right here in Bellingham, the most northwest corner, the most northwest city, the most northwest state in the lower 48. Well, we're still playing happy hour. It's just that we're broadcasting from the front yard here of David Pender Lofgren. And we are celebrating Boundary Bay and our relationship with them for 20 summers. And we're also celebrating all of you out there, wherever you are tuning into the show. We used to be on Sundays. We've moved to Thursdays because it's happy hour. And I am already getting in the zone. This is a 22-ounce bottle of Boundary Bay Imperial Stout. My goodness. I'm already here, people. I am in the zone of happy hour. I'm a little concerned out the gate. Here we go. Robert Sarazin Blake from the kitchen table, happy hour version. I'm Robert Sarazin Blake. This is the kitchen table. David Pender Lofgren will be with us soon enough once we make sure all the bells and whistles are ringing. I recall the moment before it slipped away. 5 green queens on a black bin bag, and all the world remained. I recall a moment closer than it seems. 5 green queens on a black bin bag, and all the world remained. Yeah, I recall the moment further than it seems. 5 green queens on a black bin bag, and all the world remained. I recall the moment before it slipped away. 5 green queens on a black bin bag, and all the world remained. 5 green queens of jeans. 5 green queens of jeans. That's a song from the Pogues there, kicking things off, and now we're getting right into it here. We're getting right into it with a song from Jim Page. I recorded this on a record I made a long time ago called Bellingham in Philadelphia. A split record with my great buddy Eric Peterson. David, are we all flying? Is everything happening there with the bells and whistles?
Things are getting there.
All right. Well, maybe I'll hold off on this one then until we get there. Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
All right, we're rolling. We're rolling. Song from the great Jim Page of Seattle. 20 years ago, but feels pretty good right now. November 30th, 99. November 30th, 99. History walking on a tightrope line. Big money pulling on invisible strings and getting into everything so deep. It's hard to believe it's in the food, the water, the air we breathe, and the chemistry and the biotech. The banker with the bottomless check, the corporations and the CEO, and the bottom line as the profit grows. Money talks. We don't talk back. They don't like it when we act like that. But didn't we? Shut it down, didn't we? Shut it down. November 30th, 99, it was a Tuesday morning when we drew the line. The WTO came to town and we swore we would shut it down. They called out the big police. They had the National Guard out to keep the peace, with the guns and the clubs and the chemical gas, but still we would not let them pass. Their rage, they roared, the tempers flared. There were bombs bursting in the daylight air. They tried to run us out, tried to do us in, but we came right back again, didn't we? Shut it down, didn't we? Shut it down. November 30th, 99, millennium passing as the numbers climb, and the people came from everywhere. There must have been 50,000 there. There were farmers, unions, rank and file. Every grassroots has its own style. There were great big puppets, 2 stories tall. There were drummers drumming the shopping malls, and the WTO delegates too. But we were locked down, so they couldn't get through, didn't we? Shut it down, didn't we? Shut it down. November 30th, 99, lockdown at the police line. They're hitting you with everything they got, but you ain't moving like it or not. Tying your wrists with plastic cuffs, loading you onto a great big bus, they're taking you down to the Navy base, pepper spraying you right in the face, trying to get you to bend, trying to get you to kneel, but you got unity and this is for real, didn't we? Shut it down, didn't we? Shut it down. Now the media loves all the glimmer and flash, newspapers talking a whole lot of trash about the violence and the people in black. The cops were so tired they just had to attack. And the secrets hidden in that deep dark hole we call City Hall, they'll never know. The mayor's out doing the spin, the police chief quit so we can't ask him. You can swear to God and all human law, but I was there and I know what I saw. I saw thousands demonstrating in the streets. I saw the riot squads disturb the peace, didn't we? Shut it down, didn't we? Shut it down. It's the greatest story ever told. David and Goliath, how we'd be so bold. Standing up when the going gets hot, and all you got is a slingshot. Tell me the world got messed around. Gotta pick it up and shake it, turn it around. Gotta pick it up, rearrange it. I don't want to save the world, I want to change it. Don't let them tell you that it can't be done, cause they're gonna be the first ones to run. Take a little tip from Seattle town, WTO and how we shut it down, didn't we? Shut it down, didn't we? Shut it down, oh, didn't we? Shut it down, didn't we? Here we go. A week that will live in our memories for the rest of our lives this week, right here in the United States in the spring of 2020. We are in the middle of an uprising. That's society saying things are not working the way they're working, and it's time to make some change. That cord was looking like it was about to make some change in the angle of the camera there. I'm not sure but if everything survived the move, but I think we did. Are we sideways? Are we upright? Is it the Imperial Stout that's making us upright? As always, please let us know where you're listening from today out there in the big world. We hope Bellingham got the word that we've moved to Thursdays. He's a regular there, part of the Sunday show, always buying digital shots for everybody in the listening audience. I suppose everybody at other shows is having digital shots, but I don't know, it's the first digital shot I've ever taken. The bicycle cops are turning on the lights. The drunks in the alley are staying out of sight. The couples holding hands, it's starting to snow. So many destinations and places to go, they don't all want to go. The van backs up to load in the papers. Some smoke hashish, others breathing the vapors. The baker's baking bread's got a song in his head. Angel from Montgomery and crystal meth. The waitress thinks he's cute, but he's really not her type. She's going out with somebody's husband tonight. She's not talking about it, not saying a word. Somebody's keeping a secret. Pretend they never heard. On the civic Christmas tree, the lights are blue, just like the ocean, my heart and the Smurfs. Our first season together, being apart. I haven't kissed you since August. Now the days are getting longer. You're in another man's arms, far away from here. Smoking strong whiskey, credit cards, fear. You've taken your jacket off, you brought all your shoes, but he doesn't see you like I do, 'cause you're not talking about that anymore. Last time I brought it up, you walked out the door. You're not talking about it, not saying a word. Up real tight. I'm supposed to pretend that I never heard. Well, the choppers went low, the guns opened up, bullets flew, the people got shot, but all was captured on videotape. One brave soldier helped the footage escape. Chelsea Manning stepped up and laid it down, turned on the lights, they brought Manning down to isolation. 23 hours a day, she said, pray for my captures on New Year's Day. Started talking about it. Stop mixing words. In isolation, soul roams with birds. Thank you. Well, some people have noticed this is not the same backyard that we've been broadcasting from. We've been at my kitchen table in my backyard. Now we're at David's kitchen table in his front yard. Good thing we call the show From the Kitchen Table, not From My Kitchen Table, because we don't want to be spreading falsehoods here. We are in David's front yard, which is on the north side of Seaholm Hill in Bellingham, Washington. I get to look at a new scenery here. We have some new neighbors able to check out the show. We got neighbors way over there, very socially distanced, no chance whatsoever. We have other neighbors very adequately social distanced to an audience of 6. Don't feel like you're missing out on the party. There is no party. We are not partying. We are just in our backyard. We got 7 over there. We got 7 over there. Great. And I'm looking up there at those hills. It's so great to see the hills. As I say, we are in the middle of an uprising now. This is not a demonstration. This is not a riot. This is an uprising. This is a tuning. Lady in the bay holds the promise of breathing free. We feel the glow of the torch. Our eyes can hardly see. You weren't born to be the master. I wasn't born to be the mule. When the law is holding us back, we get together and change the rules. Our grandchildren's grandchildren will inherit the earth and sun. Use our 2020 vision to leave it cool for everyone. We're all on the same ship, ice melting, water rising, with all hands on deck cutting carbon. I see a new sun rising. 'Cause I'm born to win, I'm born to win. Sunshine State to the Golden Gate, Great Lakes State to the Bluegrass State. Born to win, born to win. Tax cuts go to the wealthy, food stamps cut from the poor. After 40 years it trickled down, not gonna let them trickle us anymore. Mother can't afford the medication, sister killed in Iraq. Billionaires fly to the Bahamas in a mid-limousine jet. And still we persist, and still we persist. Still we persist, and still we persist. He can only sleep in one bed, only sit in one chair. I see too many people living on the streets. Gonna have to help the billionaires share. 'Cause I'm born to win, we're born to win. Sunshine State to the Golden Gate, Great Lakes State to the Bluegrass State. Born to win, born to win. Freedom is access to health care. Freedom is no student debt. Freedom is breakfast and dinner. Freedom is a good night's rest. Freedom is being any color, walking every street without fear of violence, working on your dreams. Freedom is cleaner. Freedom is drinking clean water. We can do anything if we keep our heads together. Because we're born to win, we're born to win. State to the Golden Gate, Great Lakes State to the Bluegrass State, born to win. Not me, us, it's not all about me. Not me, us, it takes millions of people. Not me, us, to fight for justice. Not me, us, no one can do it alone. Not me, us, it takes millions of people. Not me, us, to fight for justice. Not me, oh. Cause I'm born to win, I'm born to win. Empire State to the Volunteer State, Old Line State to the Equality State, Keystone State to the Treasure State, Show Me State to the Golden State, Great Lakes State to the Bluegrass State, born to win, born to win. Oh, wow. We got more neighbors over there. I love it. I love it. Well, that's my song. It's not properly released yet. We're going to release it in August to support all the progressive candidates running this August. So, well, they're running beyond August, to tell you the truth. They're going to run all the way into November, and then they're going to take it all the way into January. But we're holding back on releasing the song. You can get a preview at the website, but there's some surprises in the final version that I'm not going to tell you about. I'm not even telling the audience here, the neighbors. They don't even, no one knows. Okay, well, maybe David knows. David might know.
But he ain't telling us.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to our first happy hour of the season. It's always a special day for me. As I say, would be 20 years of Thursdays at Happy Hour down at Boundary Bay. So thanks to all of our friends at Boundary Bay. And you can right now, you can go down there and get some barbecue, bring that back to your backyard. You can pre-order it. There's two lines. There's the pre-order line or there's the late order line. Actually, at this point, I think only the late order line is available. So get your barbecue and stay tuned. Well, I wanted to open up with a few tunes on point, and then I'm just going to let the stout influence my hands, and we're going to see where the happy hour takes us. Got a helicopter overhead. We got a helicopter overhead. The report said in D.C. Trump brought in the military with a helicopter overhead. Here in Bellingham, it's heading to the east. We're far away from the cities. We live in a place of relief. We know it's harder other places to live. And we're grateful for all. Our hearts go out to all the protesters there. It's very brave to go out on the streets. We are with you. Leaves are falling that autumn. Colors red and gold, they set us on fire. Like moonbeams in our eyes. Somebody said they saw me swinging the world by the tail, bouncing over white clouds. Was killing the blues. I am guilty of something. Hope you never do, because there's nothing sad and losing yourself love. Somebody said they saw me swinging the world by the tail, bouncing over white clouds. Kill blues. When you asked me to leave, set out on my own and get what I need. You asked me to find what I already had. Somebody said they saw me swinging the world by the tail, bouncing over white clouds. I was killing the blues. He's always been drinking, he's always been drinking, he's always been drinking again. Last time I saw her out on the town, she had all 4 sheets in the wind. First I was afraid to join the parade, but soon enough I jumped in. He's always drinking, he's always drinking, he's always drinking again. Started on a Sunday and moved to a Monday, Tuesday with a country band too. Wednesday found us out of the ground, something we all used to do. The band still plays, but I'm afraid the nights I make it are few. Somebody said they saw me swinging the world by the tail, bouncing over white clouds. Unless he's always been drinking, he's always been drinking, he's always been drinking again. And she says I'm going to Mexico.
I've heard that line before.
We got some diehard fans here, appropriately distanced. We have newcomers who are so safely distanced that we can't even count it. The response is, I said I've heard that line before. Now, all of you have to say that so loud that in TV land they can hear you after this car goes by. But she said, I've heard that line. She said, I'm going to Mexico.
I said I've heard that line before.
She said, you don't believe me. You don't believe me. Never believe me. It's true. All I said, though often read, it was all so blue. But if you don't trust, I'll do what I must. I'll fly away from you. I say, he's always been drinking. He's always been drinking. He's always been drinking again. And there's so many places we want to go, but we can't go to any of them. There's nowhere we can go. We're just staying home. We're staying at home. Why are we staying at home? We're staying at home because we don't want to spread the disease. And that's just it right there. It's not that we don't want to get it, because we don't want to get it. That's true. But we also know we might have it. So we're staying home because we don't want to spread it. We got our bubbles going on, and we're slowly increasing our bubble. That's why this band bubble's only been 2 for now 12 weeks. We're dying to increase the band bubble, to bring you a little more music, but we're just keeping it tight, keeping a tight bubble until we can expand a little bit. We are still in phase 1 here in Washington State, most northwest corner, most northwest city, most northwest state, lower 48. There's so many places you want to go. We'll talk about it again and again. But the places we end up are the places we've already been. He's always been drinking, he's always been drinking, he's always been drinking again. And me too, what else can I do? I like to be with my friends. You should come too, there's plenty to do. I'm not worried about when we'll get home. Be singing, then he'd be swinging, then he'd be drinking again. It is happy hour. It's Thursday. sent a sketch in charcoal to an old lover on another New Year's Eve. It came to the words, the thing I'd said you heard. I signed, I wanted you to have something to me. I'm the one who laughed, I'm the one who made you cry. You're the one who's on my mind when I get blue. Pain of the flags fly, covering who's in the caskets die. Bobby Sands' age block, his real roadblock. The more I painted, the more I needed to see. I can't kiss your cheeks, fill your coffee with cream, pull the rock away by dreams. Still I wanted you to have something to me. Painted island towns, factories, transplant conifers in the Hebrides, a bridge in Donegal, a Philadelphia jail, and one after another, the sweet rolling sea. I know I've painted this picture before. Back then I was using yellows, now I'm using green. Last night I drew something simple and new. The images were vague, the lines were clean. I wanted you, wanted you. I wanted you, wanted you. I wanted you, wanted you. I wanted you to have something for me. Thank you. We're going to send this one out to Jeff Garris, a frequent listener and poster there on our Sunday shows. He requested this song last week. But sometimes, well, if you've been a regular, you know I don't read your comments during the show. I read them later. So requests often take 7 to 14 to 21 days to get through. But you know what? Time is moving differently. COVID time is different. It's very, very slow in the moment, but then it's very fast when you look backwards. Like, what? I thought we were in March. I thought this was March. I thought COVID was in March, and then by April we'd be done with this. So it must be still March because we're in this. But then actually it's June. We're in June. Just checking in, everybody. It's June. Get out of your pajamas. Give yourself a haircut. Take a bath. It's June. The grass has been growing. There's another old one goes out to everybody demonstrating in the streets of Philadelphia this past week and this future week and this past year and this future year. take bikes down Spruce where it turns into south. We'll go down to the market, get food for our mouths. Red tomato, mozzarella cheese, sit on the porch and wait for the summer breeze where it comes around. I'm too damn hot. I've been sweating all day, I've been sweating all month. The neighbors getting angry, they're doing the shout, trying to push the summer heat back out. Philadelphia, Philadelphia. The city I moved to, the city of the east, city of brotherly love, city of the police. Move me out, but Jamal still on death row all these years, and they won't let him go in a 6-by cell with a toilet on the wall. 15 minutes a week to make a telephone call. Philadelphia, Philadelphia. Like a well-worn shoe, I'm slipping right in place. But every one of those 3,000 miles, I was wishing, I was wishing, I was wishing, I was wishing I was kissing your face. Philadelphia, Philadelphia. But the co-op's been there 50 years or more. Over 400 members have keys to one door. All these years never been ripped off, making a garden out of abandoned blocks, empty buildings into squats, buying old houses in trust. Philadelphia, Philadelphia. There's a bar on the corner of the band. There's a night that places real packed, makes you feel alright. They keep beer in the freezer. I'd like a cold one right now, but I'm miles away, and here it's fairly pleasant out. I miss you, Philadelphia, Philadelphia. Song is from the time that I moved and lived in Philadelphia, around 2000, 2001. I lived in Philadelphia. Started a bluegrass jam. Well, it started as a jam, but then ended up being a band in a bar about the size of David's kitchen table. It was about that size. Well, that was a stage. It was maybe a little bit bigger than that. And the band had been going every Thursday until COVID. They'll pick up again. And it's true, in Philadelphia, they do keep beer in the freezer. And you want the beer to be in the freezer because it's hot in Philadelphia. In my hometown, Bellingham, Washington, you do not want beer to be in the freezer. Actually, you don't even need beer to be in the refrigerator. Beer just in sort of the cool part of your shelf is fine. I mean, it's not going to get that warm. I mean, it's going to be, like now it's in the 60s and we're like, wow, it's beautiful. Now we're like 62 degrees, so you don't want the beer to be cold because that will bring your interpersonal temperature to well below the 50s. You don't want that. But sometimes in the summer you're going to think that's going to happen. And coming into 30 years ago at my father and stepmother's wedding in July, which is when we can get tricked into thinking that we live in a warm place, a hot July day, the best man, my Uncle Doug, did put 24 cans of Rainier beer in the freezer. And did what you do in the Pacific Northwest when you put 24 cans of beer in the freezer on a hot July day. Forgot about it. You forgot about it. And maybe you don't know about this because you've never done that, because you live in a place where you just can't imagine forgetting about it, or maybe it's a bigger part of the program that you would check the freezer for beer. Here he put the beer in the freezer, and the can is an adequate vessel for storing beer at a cool temperature, not at a cold temperature. You don't want to be investigating the freezer the next day. Let me tell you that. That's a bad idea. That's why you got to put the beer in the cooler, Uncle Doug. Uncle Doug came up with the phrase that a little bad Dylan's better than no Dylan at all. So he holds a special place in the heart. What am I trying to say? Mind your beers. Mind your P's and Q's. And I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. Philadelphia. I miss you, Philadelphia. Like a old shoe, I'm slipping right in place. But every one of those 3,000 miles, I was wishing, I was wishing, I was wishing, I was wishing, I was kissing your face, Philadelphia. Oh, feeling good. Well, let's see what's going on over there in comment land. David, will you take a look and report? Thank you to Boundary Bay for hosting me. Can you believe it? They put up with me and put me up for 19 summers, and now the 20th, I'm coming to you through the web. It's a lot of years been working with Boundary Bay. I'm drinking their beer today, the Oatmeal Stout, which is my favorite beer on the planet. There's no joke about that. Room temp is fine. At least the room temp in my basement apartment. I mean, I don't know. You know, if I lived on the second story, it'd be a different situation. We got a Jamboree t-shirt going on over there. That's nice. A vintage one across the street. Here to tell you there will be a Subdued String Band Jamboree this year. It's not going to be like any Jamboree that's been before. It's going to be a lot like this experience you're having now, except wider and broader. Yes, it will be a television experience. I have gotten into the television business, people. That's right. The Subdued String Band Jamboree will be 2 days, Friday evening, all day Saturday, August 7th and 8th. The Jamboree is in your backyard. You're going to be able to pre-order the t-shirt, wear the t-shirt, gather with as many people as you feel comfortable with, and do your thing. There's even going to be some sort of dancing coming at you. We'll be broadcasting from a yet not only undisclosed but also unknown, even to me, location. And we will be coming to you. We're going to have a great lineup. We don't know what it is, but you know what? In a few days, the tickets are going on sale. Tickets, you're thinking, to a free event? That's right. There are going to be tickets to a free event because, people, we got to pay the bands. We got to keep the wheels in motion. So I'm just riffing on it now, but look for some actual facts coming at you soon. You can see a beautiful poster at stringbandjamboree.com. Check it out. Beautiful poster. David, what's going on in comment land?
Well, we got people checking in from all around the country, indeed all around the world. The Lofgrens, of course, are here from Maine. Clay Freed from New York.
Clay, you can make it on Thursdays. Good to know. Well, it's 8 o'clock over there, brother. Glad to have you.
We got Mary from Bunker Hill, West Virginia. And it looks like Connie Bornham in Wakefield is in the house.
All right.
She identified her brother by his laugh and said to say hello.
What's going on with that senator from West Virginia? Can we get him out? Is he up for election? Can we talk about that? Yeah, we can talk about it, but nobody knows. Nobody knows here, and the child knows, and he says yes. Let's get a Dem in there who actually has some spine. Okay, moving on, I suppose.
We got St. Louis,
St.
Buffalo,
Louis,
New York, Marin County.
Marin County. Who's calling from Marin?
Right. We got Jessica Lutt from Marin County.
There are people who live in Marin. I know they know that, but to the rest of it, it's like, wow, they live there, and it's just beautiful all the time.
Just like Bellingham.
Just like Bellingham. Yeah, that's how we felt on Monday, right? We have something here for those that don't know. This time of year is called January. Don't be confused by the sunlight behind me. It's called January around here, but we get through. We do all right. We have good days. Any requests coming in, David?
It looks like Salamander Cinco managed to request Zoe just before we played it. So
well, I could feel that. I could feel that.
We'll let the requests flow in a little bit here.
Terry, Jennifer, Carol, Jet, requests? I know you don't have anywhere to go.
Farmington, New Hampshire.
All right, well, all right. Farmington, New Hampshire.
Yes.
I'm feeling that the hands are telling me to finger pick one or two.
Or
We'll get there.
marching.
Yeah, well, you put that in. It's really great to have fans who've been with you for a while until they request something you don't know anymore. You know, then it's like they know the song better than you do. Salamander Cinco over there in Ireland in Mullingar. Once people can travel again, Salamander Cinco, you can go see Tony Reedy in Westport anytime you want. I don't get the chance to see him, but he's one of my favorites. I do this song from time to time, and I'm going to do it right now. I remember the day. I remember well, the 15th of August, we cycled to town. Over the hills we stood all on the pedals, on the feast of the Assumption, there into heaven. I took a picture you with my brownie 127 in the field. You smile and a sky of blue was all I could ask for in a field of view. Innocent times, a mother and son tried to be saints as we cycled along in a summer dress. You looked your best. Way back then I was only 10. Bikes in the shade, a good crowd in town. We talked to the neighbors and cycled back home. Home to the house and home to the place where I grew up and played before your sad days came. I took a picture of you in a summery dress, 1962. Innocent times, a mother and son, trying to be saints as we cycled along. Innocent times, a mother and son, trying to be saints as we cycled along. From the great Tony Reedy in Westport. But it is happy hour. This happens. Now people know. They think, Robert, it's happy hour. I mean, a lot of sad songs, a lot of long, sad songs in his repertoire, and they hire him for happy hour. Well, I've got a few things I can do here. I hope the Hoffmans are tuning in. This was requested early on, and just to let you know, how it kind of works with requests here. This was requested at our first episode. I think that was March 11 or 12. But we're getting around to it here because it's happy hour time now. Philip Hoffman requested this Robert Earl Keen song that to me, it's a happy hour song. At the only joint in town, she had a nasty reputation of being a girl that'd been around. Makes me after midnight, a cold 6-pack of beer, a cigarette between her lips, a beer between her legs. Go down to the river to meet with all her friends. The road goes on forever. Oh, it never ends. was a loner, older than the rest. He was going in the Navy, but he couldn't pass the test. So he hung around town, smoked and sold a little pot. Law caught up with Sonny. One day he was caught. He was back in business when they set him free again. The road goes on forever. Party never ends. Sonny's playing 8-ball at the joint where Sherry works when some drunken out-of-towner puts a hand up Sherry's skirt. Sonny takes the pool cue, lays the sucker on the floor, puts $1 in a tip jar, walks on out the door. She's running after him, reaching for his hand. The road goes on forever. The party never ends. Sherry jumped in the pickup, Sonny jammed into gear. Said over to Sherry, let's get on out of here. Stars were in the sky, the sun was in the east. Yeah, the sun was just setting when they reached Miami Beach. Got a motel by the water and a quart of Bombay gin. The road goes on forever. Never ends. They still ran out of money, but Sonny knew a man who knew some Cuban refugees who dealt in contraband. Sonny met the Cubans in a motel off the route, with a suitcase full of money and a pistol in his boot. Cards were on the table when the law came crashing in. The road goes on forever. Party never ends. Sonny grabbed the money, Cubans grabbed the jack. Sonny broke out the window, the bathroom in the back. Sherry drove the pickup through the alley on the side. When the lawman tackled Sonny, was reading him his rights. She pulls into the alley with a single shot for 10. The road goes on forever, and the party never ends. Made it back to the motel just before the break of day. Sonny says to Sherry, baby, gotta make your getaway. Gave her all the money and he blew a little kiss. Say if they asked you how this happened, tell them I forced you into this. She's watching his taillights disappear around the bend. The road goes on forever and the party never ends. Main Street after midnight, like it was before. Sherry goes into the local grocery store, steps up to the counter with a cold 6-pack of beer. Headlines read Sonny, he's going to the chair. Steps out to the curb and her new Mercedes Benz. The road goes on forever. just like the night to play tricks when you're trying to be so quiet. Sit here stranded, though we're all doing our best to deny. And Louise holds a handful of rage, tempting you to defy. Lights flicker from the opposite loft. In this room, the heat pipes just cough. But there's nothing really. The country music station plays soft. But there's nothing really nothing to turn on. Just Louise and her lover so entwined. And these visions of Johann have called my mind. In the empty lot where the ladies play blind man's bluff with a keychain, and the all-night girls whisper of escapades out on the D train. You can hear the night watchman click his flashlight, asking me or them, that's really insane. And Louise, she's alright, she's just near. She's delicate, and she seems like the mirror. She makes it all too concise and too clear that Johanna's not here. The ghost of electricity howls in the bones of a face, and these visions of Johanna have taken her place. Little boy lost, takes himself so seriously. He brags of his misery, he likes to live dangerously. And bringing a name up speaks of a farewell kiss to me. Oh, we sure got a lot of gall. It feels so useless and all. And muttering small talk at the wall while I'm gone. Oh, how can I explain? It's so hard to get on. And these visions of Johann keep me up past the dawn. Inside the museum, infinity goes upon trial, saying this is what salvation must be like after a while. Mona Lisa must have had the highway blues. You can tell by the way she smiles. See the primitive wallflower creep and the jelly-faced ram on all sleeves, and the one with the mustaches. Geez, I can't find my jewels and binoculars hang with the bones of a face. of Johanna, take my place. Heather now speaks to the countess who's pretending to care for him. Say the name of someone who's not a parasite. I'll go out and say a prayer for him. But as Louise always said, you can't look at much man as she herself prepares for him. And Madonna, she still has not showed. Say the stage once exposed. Because the cape of a cape once has flowed. The fiddler, he now steps to the road. Says everything must be returned which was old. From the back of a fish trough that loads where my conscience explodes. Harmonica plays skeleton keys in the rain. And these visions, Joanne, are all that remain. Oh, we're still celebrating Dylan's 79th birthday. 79 years old and still making incredible songs, incredible records. That song there, of course, from 1966, Blonde on Blonde, Visions of Johanna. And I've got a lot of the words. I didn't get them all. I'll do better. I know Henry's out there. He's like, Blake, this is the third time you've made the same mistake on that verse. Well, I know that. I know that, and I'm going to get better. I have to just get to bed a little bit earlier and wake up a little bit earlier, and everything's going to be just a little bit better at nailing all those lyrics. Well, what's going on in comment land? Let's just take a pause to see what's going on out there. And David, you have a look like nothing's going on in comment land.
There's a lot of action based around the cat. A lot of people are very interested in the orange cat.
W.C. Fields.
That's pretty much the gist of
All
the
right.
comment right now.
They've heard the
Very
songs.
cat-based.
They've heard the
Yeah.
songs. And the commentary even has a lot of familiar themes. But the cat, that's a nice introduction. That's why we had to come to a new backyard. I mean, it was either stop the show or come to a new backyard. Or write some new songs. I don't have any new ones right now. Well, I have unrecorded ones. What time is it?
About 6:10.
All right. We have no break scheduled today. We got the rest of the month. We have some great guests coming. We'll have next week the one and only Jefferson Hamer, who's still locked in down in Brooklyn, New York. And the week after that, the Mammals, who are still locked in up in Woodstock, New York, which is a completely different experience. And then we have Corwin Bolt, who's come in to us from Eugene at the end of the month. And then after that, maybe we'll be able to have a third member of the band. We shall see. You know what we haven't done in a while? The old rock and roll dream.
Whoa.
The regulars get it. And the newcomers are about to find out. Made this record back when I only had 4 letters in my first name. I've gone back. I gained 2. We're back to equilibrium now. But for a while there, I lost track of 2 letters in my first name. And it starts out with a poster. Bob Marley and a spliff. Get a guitar when you get older. You start building your own myth. With a band holding a cleat, they're exhausted from the heat. They're better rock out on the highway, biggest mess you'd ever seen. The bass player met a girl in Toledo the night the drummer broke his hand. The fiddle player was pretty convinced she was gonna quit the band. Well, the basement show went off that night. It nearly brought the whole house down. There's no pride like the pride in the eyes of those that make it in the underground. Well, they look like a bunch of failures, unemployed, broken mean. Those with a quick eye could tell they were living the rock and roll dream. Tour ended in New Jersey. I was beat and I was tired. But the band was drinking Mad Dog 2020 and they were wired. They heckled worse, they patronized. I couldn't take another blow. Sometimes the opening bands called the support band. In this case, they were playing the opposite role. It's the only time I ever told anyone, you get them out of my show. It's not every audience you can bring to the knees. Don't let them forget who has a star and roll in your rock and roll dream. And it starts out with a poster. John Lennon wearing shades. You get a gig when you get older. Who even cares about getting paid? Which is a beautiful feeling. Beautiful feeling. But feelings don't last forever. Feelings change. Feelings evolve. And that's why we got the digital tip jar going on. We got the PayPal. We got the Venmo. We need some dough, you know, so we can buy some dough because David makes sourdough. If you don't have it, don't give it. But if you do, we say thank you. Pensacola, Florida, seated dark blue sea. Yukon down to Texas, then back home to the Jamboree. To Mar-a-Lago at the Jamboree. I played in bars, slept in cars, woke up in the snow. A voice like a whip thrashing me, get on down that road. I know what they say about the cat and curiosity, but I don't drink milk, I drink beer. I'm a man in love with a rock and roll dream. Sitting around Boundary Bay on a Tuesday night, the bands are back from battle, swapping stories of the fight. The van broke down, we didn't make any money. No one came to that show. But the old guys got the same old stories. young eyes always glow. With the band in the corner, they play here every week. The drummer gets so drunk, so stoned, that he can't play or so they break into the chorus. We too long, 'cause we all know what it means. We all just want another chance at the rock and roll dream. And it starts out with a poster, Bob Marley and the Split. A lot of guitars as you get older, you hang it all to that old me. Recitative. Still in tune. I mean, that's amazing. 1978 Martin D35 with a post-factory bored-out sound hole. That's right, this sound hole is bigger than the sound hole was when the guitar was originally made there in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. But I bought it 20-some years ago, and it's gotten a little bit bigger, actually. Mostly stayed the same size. Also, macrame guitar strap gets a lot of questions. Made by my father, handmade by my father, and it's very comfortable. Some people think, Robert, why do you have a plant hanger on your guitar? Are you a real plant guy? And the truth is, I'm not really good with houseplants, but I am really good with macrame. Using it anyways. Dad is very good with macrame. Thanks, Dad. Pretty good stuff. I've been laying long enough. It's cloudy mind. It's not who I am. When I lost my taste for wine, knew I was running out of time. With a twinkle in my eye, I'm saying goodbye. Moving on, moving on. Moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. I can see the other side. I am ready for that ride. Mind drifting, body floating away. I can hear my mother's laugh. Mary's pouring another glass. Pull up a chair, making room for one more. Moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. Oh, I don't wanna go. But it's drag moving so slow. I cannot rise, I can only fall. Pain wakes me from my rest. I feel hard, steady breaths. Close my eyes and fade. Moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. You can sing that at home with us or here in our socially distanced neighborhood audience. Moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. One last time. Moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. We have an audience. We haven't had a human audience this large in a long time. I think our career's really taken off. In my backyard, we have some neighbors up on decks above us, but I think we've only made maybe 11. And we have,
20.
13, I'd say. 13. I'm in show business. Reasonable.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 10, 11.
Really, it's 20. It's 20. It's 20. Don't mess with Allison. Allison can count.
Hello.
20 and 2020.
Oh, got a young one over there. Send this one out to the Lofgren family. They've been loyal participants all the way from Kittery Point, Maine, which, if you've been there, is just right across the water from New Hampshire. I mean, there's a question. There's a question. They live in New Hampshire. No, they live in Maine. They live in Maine, but they go to New Hampshire often. Is that little island where your brother worked for a little while? Is that New Hampshire or is that Maine? See what I'm talking about here?
I think it's Maine.
Hello to all of our friends in Maine. Vote Susan Collins out of office, would you? I'll give you money. I'll give you some money. Terry and Jennifer will give you some money. And I'm not talking about the campaign. I'm talking about you personally, person in Maine. A friend, viewer in Maine. We want Susan Collins out of office. We want Susan Collins to stay home. I think she should be working on her garden next year. I would love it if she had a chance to finish the series called Sherlock Holmes. To call her an independent is a bunch of baloney. Been stroking Trump's chubber like she's involved in matrimony. Let's vote out Susan Collins. We can do much better. Plays well in Bellingham, Washington. It's true. Try that up in Linden, you get a different response to that one. I like that we got a camera going. I've been making these things up in the middle of gigs and they're lost on the wind. Now we can go back and work on that one and really edit in there. But I thought baloney and matrimony was actually it's not gonna. We're gonna add. Must be this. I feel pretty good about that one. Where are we? I come visit you this summer, will you call? That farm in New Hampshire, I won't stay long. I'll stay out of your way. Just want to see you smile. On a green summer day, and there's a river. We can go swimming, take off our clothes, have a new beginning, watch the wind run through. Sounds close. Lay out on flat river stones in the summers. Leave the flowering trees. Kiss you so sweet. Can I go back to your arms again, where my heart has always been? Can I crawl into the cracks of your smile, run my hand down your back wide, where the eyes are the ones I know, where I laid so long ago, where the arms are the ones I've seen. Mountains white, mountains green, and the sun's beam. The flowering trees, miss you so sweet. Yes, my love, you can come and see me. Though again I know you'll leave me, our hearts can hold. Then, so long, there's a reason why. You've been gone to the rivers, the mountains, and the hills, the late night parties, the daffodils, the inside passage, the Mackin Hall, where you became part of all that you saw of the sun's beams. Kiss you so sweet. Nothing like requesting the song we did when you were away, Terry. Detroit.
Yukon.
Yukon.
Puyallup. Don't know the name.
The regulars are getting worried that I won't come up with something. I don't know. It's like David's seen this a million times, but it's like they're worried because there's 20 people in the audience here, and they're used to that from time to time. But they know there's a larger audience out there. Like, Blake, don't do this whole noodle thing forever now between tunes while you think of what to do. We'll give you some ideas. Well, it's hard though. The hands are in charge a lot of the time. They figure it out. The brain has veto power, but you gotta trust the hands. Yeah. We got some neighbors walking up the street here. They've not seen this before. This is what we call a COVID concert. We would have never had a concert of this nature if it hadn't been for COVID. All right. Lots of pets in this world. Lots of pets, lots of confusion. He was waiting outside the bar on a Monday night. She said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "I thought I might catch you on your way home. See if you wanted to walk." Hands went together. They headed towards the door. And this was not the first time this kind of thing went on. They had already called it off. They were already done. But I swear that I saw them all in love. Whiskey got flipped, mixing it with tea. Hands went together. They headed towards the door. They watched each other's faces as the sun lit up the sky. Headed for home, headed for goodbye. Rain and she smoked a cigarette. He smoked one too. Then they smoked another one. I guess that's what you do when it's morning and you're stalling, falling in love. They had the bricks with which the way downstairs gets paved. She had a wet walk. He dropped the telephone when it rang. It never happens easy, and it really happens slow. You just enjoy the moments before they up and go. Still on an autumn night, the summer is just gone. Sidewalks swelling, bar blasting its last song. I remember that I saw them all in Haven't played that song in a long time. Well, what's going on in comment land out there? And what time is it? Let me get my head around what exactly is going on here. I've been drinking Boundary Bay Oatmeal Stout, which is my favorite beer on the planet. Great at room temperature. If your room, like mine, is a basement apartment, it keeps things just like cool enough, but without being too much. You don't want to drink beer too cold. Not in the Pacific Northwest. This is our message. We're learning more about each other through COVID. And you don't really want cold beer here. It makes you feel cold. We don't want to feel cold. We feel cold all the time. It's never warm here. We always feel a little cold. We never, you don't always feel totally cold, but you always feel a little cold. Even in the summertime, you feel a little cold. And if you don't, on those rare days, that's when people in the Pacific Northwest say it's too hot. Because we are used to just a little cold, only a little cold. Like have a sweater. Going out at night, have a sweater. We're looking at these demonstrations happening across the country, and we notice people are out at night in t-shirts, which is not something we would do here. We would never go out in a t-shirt after 5 o'clock because it gets cold. It's not really cold, it's a little cold. So that we're learning about different people in different places. And I'm being, kind of silly, but always I want to say praise to everybody who is out on the streets right now fighting for change, the change that we need, which is respect for every person on this planet. Praise to everybody out there doing the good work. We're playing a few tunes here. We hope that in some ways it makes a contribution, but the hard work is out there on the streets. Thank you. David, what's going on?
Our friends in Ireland would like to know what Yukon is.
Salamander?
Yep.
We know.
There's a bar in Mullingar. That's not there anymore. However, people will still give you directions around Mullingar based on the bar being there. And that bar, I can't remember the name of, but Salamander will type it in. It was one of those special bars. It wasn't just a bar where good things happened. It was a bar that held the community together in ways that are beyond walls and liquid. And a lot of great nights were had at that bar in Mullingar. And across the street from that bar was the Yukon. And that's why the fans from Mullingar are wondering about the Yukon. Because they had a bar there called Yukon. And I played there, and Irish publicans can be a little tight with the drink. It's not, there's times when I played gigs and I've been presented at the end of a 2-hour gig with a pint from the publican as though he's giving me the key to the entire public house. I mean, there can be a tight, and I'm not, and I can't, I don't have an analysis. We'll have to get somebody in to give analysis because it's a time and place and things shift and change. But I will say there was a period of time when I was touring there where that was very true. Whereas in the States, oftentimes the drink is more flowing, and of course at the home bar, they've always taken care of us. Thank you to Boundary Bay. And all that to say, it's just different times and different places. And we had a lot of great nights in the Yukon bar in Mullingar. Must not have been called the Yukon bar in Mullingar, because otherwise I would have used that rhyme before, and I don't think it was, I think it was called Yukon Jack's Pub in Mullingar, which doesn't sound the same, but the Yukon bar in Mullingar sounds pretty good. Maybe that's why it's not there anymore. Sarah worked at that bar at one point, and she's wondering if I have a song about her bar. I don't.
Robert, I have the answer for the bar that brought the community together.
Yeah.
Hughes's,
of course, which is also a phrase we wouldn't. I mean, the plural of Hughes is tough, so it's just not used that often. But in Mullingar, they say Hughes's, and they don't think anything of it. I had never heard the plural of Hugh before going to Ireland. I think we're going to run out the show. It's been a great night, man. Hughes's, of course, Hughes's. So this song is not about the Yukon bar in Mullingar, it's about the place the Yukon bar in Mullingar was named after, which is the most northwest corner of Canada. So many things to tell you about this song, because it's just one big reference to a place that very few people live in and few people go to, but I recommend you go. It's a neat spot. About 20,000 people live in the biggest city of Whitehorse. Next largest city is Dawson City, 800 people. That's the second largest city in the Yukon. We did 15 concerts up there. Two things I'll tell you. One, in the wintertime they have a bingo. The entire province, but it's not a province, it's a territory. And their territory plays bingo together on the radio in the Yukon, 7 o'clock Friday nights. The other thing I'll tell you, in Dawson City, a quarter of it is on one side of the Yukon River, and you can only get there when there is either a frozen river that you can drive across or an unfrozen river that you can take a boat across. So there's different times of year before and after freeze up. Well, before freeze up and after freeze up, where you can't get across. And it could be a couple of days, could be a couple of weeks, could be a month. You get stuck there on the other side of the river, which is a concept most of us in 2020 have a hard time imagining. Like, okay, you cannot go to Boundary Bay because the river's frozen or unfrozen, so just deal with that. And maybe, it's like Jennifer stayed home, Terry went to Boundary Bay, and now they can't see each other for a month because the river. That's what I'm talking. This is what happens. This is a town of 800 people with a river through it, and a quarter of them are on the other side. It's led to a lot of curious combinations, I can only imagine. Goodbye to the Yukon. Let's take it up to another key. But we'll send this out, nonetheless, to the many great nights in Hughes's and to the Yukon Bar in Bellingham. Goodbye to the Yukon. Goodbye to the snow. Goodbye to the cold, cold clouds. I'm off in the morning, south through northern air, wishing I was old crow bound. Eldorado deals cards all night. Dawson City don't close. Goodbye to the Huskies, the mountains, the Mounties, the whiskeys to warm up your smile, the taverns of Dawson, Hotel and Haynes Junction, Carcross and Snookum Gin, George Johnson down in Benson, driving away in his car, which is a reference to this guy, George Johnson, who lived in the community of Benson, which is somewhere between 200 and 312 people large. And this guy, George, got the first automobile. The only problem was there were no roads. So he had to wait for the river to be frozen so he could drive his car on the frozen river. You gotta love the Yukon. You gotta love the Yukon. George Johnson. It's Tesla, not Benson. It's the Imperial IPA. Driving away in his car. The ghost of Jack London keeps him coming. Service keeps them all smile. There's a hotel on the lake in Atlanta, a brothel at the edge of town. The Yanks off to Anchorage, stop in the summer, fuel up for the drive. It's better in the winter, turn on the radio, 7 o'clock Friday night. I wish I was at the Gold Rush Hotel. I wish I was at the downtown bar. I wish I didn't have to leave every winter. I wish I was there where you are. Floating the Yukon with a toucan, looking up at the stars. Goodbye to the Yukon, goodbye to the clouds, this eye, my time all we bide, till I'm back around, waiting for freeze up, so we can meet up. I want to get back to the Yukon myself. Yeah. No one's going anywhere for a long time. At least that's the way I see it. But you know what's a long time? What is a long time? A couple years. A couple years isn't that long. You know, frankly, even if I stayed home for a couple years, there would be projects at the end of those couple years that I wouldn't have completed. You know, I'm just taking a look at the man in the mirror there. I've got piles that haven't been touched in the last 2-3 months. What makes me think in, 12 or 24 I'd get to it? I'll just say let's make the best of the situation here, What are we doing next, David? David's in charge of the set list, by the way.
Well, it's 6:49 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time.
Wow.
Meaning we have 11 minutes to fill.
Who's Phil? Dr. Phil is on after us, I think.
I think we should do
Some guy Clark.
something.
Gonna have to get to that next week, the week after, maybe in 11 weeks. I mean, Philip Hoffman had to wait 11 weeks for his request. Yeah, because I love so many Guy Clark songs, and I don't think I'm doing him justice right now. Is that true? That's true. That's true. I got it. That's coming to me. Because it's happy hour. Let's not forget the fact that it's happy hour, How we doing over there? We got a pink umbrella over there. We got a dog on a leash. Neighbors are drinking cans of beer. They're drinking cans of beer. Cans of beer, actually. Might even be a jar. What are we drinking down there across the street? Yeah. Like a man who's not afraid to say he's drinking rosé. You know what I mean? So there was a time where he couldn't do that. But he's been married for a number of years. He can say stuff like, honey, let's have some rosé. It's not a problem. It's a new world. I mean, if you like rosé, drink rosé. I'm not trying to make a joke or not make a joke about it. I'm just saying he's drinking rosé. David was drinking rosé, and I've had rosé, I mean, I'm kind of like a traditionally macho kind of thing here, I'm going to have this imperial style, Break it down. Have a rosé, Let's have rosé next week.
Let's have rosé next.
Where were we? Oh, well, we can't do rosé right now, actually, because we're doing a song. We're going to do the greatest love song ever written. Well, it's Beck's the Beast and Pabst Blue Ribbon, Bass against Stout for sipping, Sammy Adam, Mickey Pearl, Molson Girl, St. Pauli Girl, Moosehead Mamba, Rollin' Rock, Shiner Premium, and Shiner Bock, Black and Tan and Black and Voodoo, just about in beer. You got your highfalutin Heineken, your backwoods Bush. As long as it is tall and cold, that brand don't matter much. We'll drink cheap beer and dark beer too, near beer when we're on the wagon. Just don't give me any of that gluten-free man beer. That's the one I'm not drinking. Which I've made that joke before, but the fact of the matter is, recently I bought a 6-pack of gluten-free beer unwittingly, and I was halfway through when I noticed it tasted pretty good. It tasted pretty good. Beer with lime, beer with lemon, beer with really heroin, beer with pizza, beer with golf. Why is it always the fattest man at the ballgame who's the first one to take his shirt off? I think it might be beer. Am still alive here, yuppie trenchlets when you're with your log show friends. And the Rockies, they got the silver bullet. My life's pretty good and my gut's full of it. Drinking beer's my favorite sin when I'm hanging out with bikini-clad beer twins. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. Don't let those Clydesdale horses spook you. Not even the dogs, don't let them spook you. Beer with lemon beer on Christmas, Hanukkah, Thanksgiving. Beer with bowl and beer on the beach as long as there's a beer in reach. You got your Red Dog, Keystone, MCT, Newcastle, Blue Bowl, Old E, Abita, Tecate, Purple Haze, Little Highlight for the champagne and beer summer days. Each Wicked Ale and Grand Cru, Bohemia, Jackson, Lone Star too. Well, my friends, you guessed it right. I feel like having a beer tonight. A couple beers tonight. Thursday night, happy hour. Beer with lime, beer with lemon, hippie, holla, gold skinny dip. Beer on the six, or beer on the L. We'll pray that there is beer in hell. We'll drink our beer while we are here on earth. We'll pray that there's beer in heaven. May all of your beer dreams come true, and may your six-packs turn to
7.
Even at the bar in Mullingar, they know that's 7. What I love about my Irish friends is like they say, you know, Blake, we were over there in the States and we got a beer. And it was in the smallest little can you'd ever seen in your life. Because the Irish drink pints. The cans come pint size. So they see a little 12-ounce size and they're really kind of wondering what's going on, you know. Six-packs are traditionally 12-ounce. This is educational for the Irish in the crowd in Mullingar. We're all learning about each other in these COVID times through means we don't fully understand or comprehend. May all your six-packs turn to 7. After so many times around this world, one thing is clear to me. The beer that tastes the best every time is the beer that's free. Beer with lime, beer with lemon, happy holler in Texas, skinny dipping. Beer on 6, beer on the L. We'll pray that there is beer in hell. The song is written by my buddy Bill Davis down there in Austin, Texas. You can find him. He's working at a used clothing store. I don't know which one, but you want to find him, he's there. But he is the last rock star still alive. As far as I'm concerned, he's the only rock star I know. His music is so good. I love Mr. Bill Davis. He's also doing a Tuesday series. You can tune in to his Tuesday songwriter series, Bill Davis. That's right, just spelled like it sounds. He wrote this song. As you can tell, Bill knows a lot about beer. At the Kerrville Folk Festival, he was the guy who's both served the beer. And at the Kerrville Folk Festival, disposable cups are not allowed. Everybody walks around with a mug on their belt. It's a beautiful scene. Nobody's throwing away any cups there. Bill had the largest mug you'd ever seen. From one of those mugs you get at a truck stop, you know what I mean? One of those massive coffee mugs. I mean, just massive. You're thinking, how can a person consume that? That he had the largest mug you'd ever seen. Wrote this song here. I said, Bill, I want to learn your beer song. He said, I don't have a beer song. What about that song, Bill? You know, the one that mentions all... Oh, perhaps you want to learn the greatest love song ever written. It's clear that Bill knows a lot about beer, but he does not know all that much about beer here, and we follow a spiritual path in this band, and we try to beer here now every chance we get, which means every dollar that goes into the digital tip jar will be spent on a Bellingham beer in a Bellingham bar. We're not going to take that money down to Skagit County nor to King County. We're going to spend the money at a Bellingham bar buying a Bellingham beer once we're allowed to go to a Bellingham bar, and which means, and I'm telling you, this is way more effective at the happy hour to a local audience than to an international audience. What that means is 80 cents on the dollar of your donation going in goes right to Bellingham Public Schools. So just think about that when the hat comes around. That's, of course, if you make a lot of money and you are taxed on 80% of your income, as you should be if you make that a lot of money. Because you can only sleep in one bed. You don't really need all that money anyway. It's just causing you hassles. You were thinking about investing it in various different ways. We're speaking metaphorically here, but what I'm truly trying to say is the tip jar is coming around digital, physical, surreal, metaphysical. Where were we? That's right. Bill doesn't know a lot about beer. Here we follow a spiritual path. We do take a Sustainable Connections pledge. to beer here now. We got a scuttlebutt in Everett to shoots as a Blackview porter. Flying Fish in Olympia in Lacarna. They got Lacarna. That's a joke for people who don't know the name of the brewery in Lacarna. It's called Lacarna Brewing. Ron Verdon has a Skagit River. Stop by the North Fork on your way to Glacier. Skips at the waterfront in PA in Bellingham. We got the
Boundary Bay.
They got the IPA, ESB. Reef Netter for when you're out at sea. The Old Mound or barley wine. A blonde for when you're already fine. Dry Irish Stout when you're singing all day. Scotch Ale when you play croquet. Oatmeal Stout when the rain pours. Have a Pilsner if you're out of doors. Beer in a pint glass, beer in a schooner, beer in a growler. Beer in a cooler, beer in a pitcher, beer in a keg. I wish I had a hollow leg. This is the happy hour edition of From the Kitchen Table. My name is Robert Sarazin Blake. This is the kitchen table. To my left is David Penderlofgren, the man who makes everything happen. And not only is the finest baller on player around, he can handle the technical side, which I can't. There would be no show without him. I'd just be in my own backyard and the neighbors would be sick of me. Thanks for being here. This is the end of the show. Next Thursday we'll be back. Maybe we'll be in your backyard. If you got a backyard where we can be socially distanced, we don't want to come within 10 feet of you. Maybe we'll come to your backyard next time. We're not going to tell you where this backyard is that we're in right now because we might be here next week and we don't want the mobs coming. Oh, Boundary Bay beer is the best beer on the planet. I've been working there for 20 years. If I change my tune, I might be fired by Ed or have the very unfortunate position of someone on the planet to have been fired by Janet. Happy hour, everybody.